mates in for the weekend. Just come up here, it's pretty nice weather, so I thought I'd come out here and have a little chill. On this video, I think I get a few people asking me about the Troopy and sort of, you know, what size tires has it got, and yeah, what sort of lift kit has it got, and all that sort of stuff. So I thought in this video, once I get to camp, I'll give you a bit of a van life tour of the Troopy, and just a bit of a rundown on what it's got, what I've done to it, and yeah, just show you all around it, and save me having to answer everybody's question. I'll just put it all in one video, I reckon, and then you can come and have a look, and if you're looking to do up a Troopy, and give you some ideas on what you can do and just get the old thought process going and what you can do. Got into camp. It's at Port Jackson. It's pretty deserted. There's like one swag up there and a couple of tents back there, and that's about it. So bang on. I don't know why it's deserted, because frig, she's a beautiful day. Really, I reckon. Yeah, she's a beautiful day out there. Oh. Beautiful day, but there's still a bit of a nip in the old air. I think this might be home for tonight, and while I'm here, I'll give you a little tour of the old Daleeymans. Just got a bit dusty on the way in. That's all good. quite a nice day. Ooh, the bird just dived in. Might have a go at catching a fish maybe. Anyway, get set up. Not really a lot to do to set up. Just open the back doors up really. Cheerio. Boom. Serenity. Shifty. Alright. It's got a bit of a nip in the air, so I had to put a hoodie on. So anyways, Troopy. First things first, she's 2020 Toyota Land Cruiser. It's a 78 series, which is the Troopy. Yeah, she's got the 4.5 litre V8 turbo diesel, and I haven't done anything to the motor. She's just all I've done to it so far is put a 3.5 inch DPF back, stainless steel exhaust, which makes it sound a little bit better. I can't tell from inside the cab, but she sounds alright when you're standing behind it and you got her on full noise. So when I bought it brand new, I ticked every box I could on the options. So when I ticked all the boxes, I got the ARB front bar, which is pretty common on these things. Everybody's got them, but I quite like the way they look. And she saved me a few times hitting deer and other things. And she got the winch. I don't know how many what tonnage it is. What does it say on there? Xeon 9S worn. Got that through Toyota as well, so that's all under Toyota warranty. And it got the sidebars as well from ARB. They go down as a rock slider, and then also through them I got the 2-inch Old Man Emu lift kit. It's just the it's not the real good one, it's sort of the medium range one, which does all good. Give it a good lift. And the arse sags a bit. When she's got both fuel tanks full, she's knocking on the door of 3.5 ton, all fully loaded up with everything I own. So I've fitted in some airbags just to help take the load. But the one's got air leaks, so I'm always pumping them up. So that's what we got going on in the suspension. And even the tinted windows, I did those through Toyota, but I'm not actually that happy with them. You can see they just horrified cut around the thing. Like that's only 2 screws to undo it, and they just cut around it, which I thought was pretty rugged for how much money you spend. They didn't tint it right out, they just tinted it to there. Classic Toyota. So that's all the stuff I got done through Toyota when I ordered it. So it come like that from Toyota, from new. So all the things that I've done to it. Where do we start? So I had a small accident where the handbrake let go. Typical Land Cruiser again. And she rolled off down the hill and hit a brick wall. So I got this rear bar because I wanted to always have 2 spares. I just like the way they look, and yes, I've always wanted 2 spares, so I had to do that. I had to have the rear bar, which is a MCC one. But if you're looking for a rear bar or any sort of bar work, don't get an MCC. It's the one regret I have. It's absolute rubbish. You can see all the like powder coatings flaking off and going rusty, and yeah, and it's bent. They sold it to me, they said it could take 35-inch tires, which it couldn't. I had to modify it to fit 2, and yeah, just the weight of the spares on there, it's just bent it. And like you can see just the flex, she moves a fair bit, and I had a pretty big bump on the beach and the whole thing folded back and then come up and bent both sides of the quarter panel, which is another job that I've got to try and get sorted out at some point. But hopefully get a new bar before I do that, so it just doesn't happen again. Tyres, I'm running 315 75R16s Maxxis Razors, the MTs. I've had a pretty good run out of these. This is my 3rd set, and I got 70,000 out of them. Like, this is a spare from that set, and that's 70,000 wear on there, and there's still heaps of meat on there. Still probably another 10,000 left in that. So they're not quite 35s, they're about, I don't know, 34 and a half or something, just under. But they've geared it up a little bit from factory, like the tires have. Makes it run a lot better on the motorways and stuff, on the long hauls. Sit on 100, 110, and it's sitting just under 2,000 RPM, so it helps for fuel a bit. But then you sort of got to cane it a bit more, because I haven't remapped it or anything. I haven't done anything to the motor yet. You sort of got to cane it a bit more up on the hills. Drive it like you stole it, sort of thing. But she still gets along pretty good. These little things here, now these have been, since I've been living out of it, these have been a massive lifesaver from Crash Pad. They're pretty good. This one's had a hard life. Done a few mods, race car mods, but basically because I live out of this thing, I use this one. This one's me laundry, and like when I go surfing and that, I chuck all my wetsuit or whatever I'm wearing that's gone wet in there, and then I've got another one on the other side, and this one is just all me rubbish, mainly empty Heineken cans, and it just keeps all the smelly stuff outside. Basically the rims that I've got on there, they're just steel rims. They're only like $100 each. Black track, 16-inch, and it's got -44 offset on the back, and then a 0 offset on the front, because everyone probably already knows that the Land Cruisers, when they changed to the V8, they widened the front end but they didn't widen the back, so it just lines them up again, so they line up and drives a lot nicer. And so I've got a spare one for the front and one for the back. That's the other reason I've got 2 spares. Up on the roof, we got the Rhino rack. I forget what they call it. Pioneer, I think. Pioneer tray. I think it's the biggest one they do, which is actually perfect size for the Troopy. It goes the whole length. One thing that I don't like about it is these mountings here. You can see there's a bit of rust coming through there. Stones and stuff get caught up in that gap, and stone gets caught in there. I don't realize it's there, and it rubs with the vibrations of everything, and it ends up wearing through the paint, and then you can start getting rust going on. But I'm not too concerned, because I'm hoping to cut the roof off later on next year, hopefully, and put the Alucab Hercules roof conversion in it to have the pop top roof, which will be good. So I'm not too concerned about the roof. I'll sort it out at some point, but there's no point fixing it. It's just going to keep happening with that roof rack until so hopefully just cut the roof off and I won't have to worry about it. And mounted off the Rhino rack is the Rhino rack batwing awning. What are they, 270, I think, 270. Wraps right around the back. I'll open that out soon and give you a look at what it looks like. But yeah, it's pretty expensive, but when you need it, it's handy. I don't use it all the time. I think I'd prefer ones. This one's got legs, and you got to peg it down every time, or else it blows away, and then that's $2 out the door. No, it wasn't $2. It was 1400, I think. So yeah, I'd prefer. I want to get a different one so that it's freestanding, and I'd use it a lot more than what I do this one. I only really use this one if I'm really desperately needed and staying there for a long period of time. And yeah, but it is good. I do like it. It's good. It's gotten me out of the sun a few times. On the other side of the rack, I've got the Alucab shower cube, which is quite handy. That's actually really easy to use. It opens out and comes down quite easy, and it's the same thing. I don't use it a lot, but when you need it, it's super handy. Helps for people checking me out when I'm trying to have a shower, you know. And the last thing on the outside is these Steedy spotlights. Those are the 7-inch sports ones, but huge amounts of light. I love them. Oncoming people hate them, but I love them. And also I've fully Steedy swapped out everything, like all my bulbs. They're all now LED Steedy bulbs. All my indicators, park lights, headlights, and I got these spotlights as well. These fog lights are from Steedy as well. And all my tail lights, they're all apart from the ones in the bar, those aren't. Those come with it, but they're all LED as well. Yeah, so that's about it on the outside. It's not really much else on there. On the inside, on the inside she's pretty stock up the front. It's not a lot really changed. Just the factory seats, factory steering wheel. I think she does alright. Don't need to change too much about it. Head deck's all good. I changed the speakers actually. I put in put those suckers in there. They just had these little tiny ones in here, and man, they were rubbish. I had better ones in my Escort way back in the early days. Got rid of them. It's got a couple of little UHF handhelds. Got my Bush radio for when I go to work, and just the GME CB radio. It's hidden down in the back there. And for abusing trucks when they cut me off, or they won't let me pass them when they got way more horsepower than me. But yeah, it's about all that's in there. So in the back of the old girl is the living part. This is my home. It's where I live and have been living for the last 2.5 years, I think it is now. Home sweet home. And I built most of this. I had some help from a mate, but most of it I've done. And yeah, so this here, I built this. This is my kitchen table, I suppose, or bench. Made this myself. Pretty proud of that, and I use it quite a lot. Got it from Bunnings. So it was actually a kitchen counter like that. I just cut it in half and then put the hinges in there, and yeah, this is where I cook most nights. Well, most nights that's not raining or windy. So most summer nights. In the winter I generally just go to the pub or get takeaways, or try and cook inside there and make everything stink. On this side here, this is the other door, small door. This wasn't what this was made for, but I sort of had made it to do it. I got all just all cutlery in there, rubbish bags, cut more cooking utensils, salt and pepper and whatnot. And this one here, I just keep random shit so that if I need something in a hurry, couple ties in there, dishwashing liquid. Up in there, got my kettle for on the fire, and my camp oven's hidden away in the back there. Up in here, this is meant to be a drawer to slide out, but I haven't got that far. I've just been making do with how it is. So there's all my tools in there. There's a big socket set in the back, and all my recovery gear like tow ropes and blocks and shackles and everything's all up in there. Up on this side here, can't really see, but obviously there's some cleaning products. I've got my big axe, hammer for whacking shit, pigs, and then I got my fishing bag in there. And there's even a what do you call them? Damn you, brain. Compressor, that's it. That's what I was after. Air compressors in there. So for pumping up my tyres. I've been meaning to change all the oils in my gearbox and transfer case and the diffs and that, so I've got all the oils for that. I just haven't Haven't got around to doing it just yet, so that's what all those are. And this is another little table for outside. And then the best thing I've probably bought so far is this Daleeymans fridge. It's only able to take, you can only have it as a fridge or a freezer, but I just use it as a fridge mainly for keeping all my green cordials cold. And then I've got all the other stuff, having pork chops for tea tonight. And yeah, that's probably the best thing I've ever bought, is that fridge. I've had it almost for, it'll be close to 2 years now, I think, and it's been going every day, all day, every day since. And it's quite good. Like you can check your battery voltage on there. I don't know if you can see it, but it shows your battery voltage, what your temperature is at, and it's actually really good, because I'm only running one fridge at the one battery at the moment, so it's quite smart. Like when the battery's getting too low, it'll actually turn itself off, the fridge will, and then it's like a chili bin, I suppose. And so long as it's not all day, your stuff stays all good when it does that. So it just helps, so I can always start my car. Like I've never had a flat battery because of the fridge. It's and it's been in there, goes all day every day. I typically, when I'm doing the long runs, I always try and keep, not because I'm, you know, alcoholic, I guess, but I always try and keep 24 cans in there, and it just helps. It actually helps keep the fridge running cold and sort of more efficient, I guess. And so when I'm doing the long hauls, you know, where I'm running for 2-3 hours of driving, I'll set the fridge to like -2, -3. So when your car's running, the fridge is working hard, getting cold. And then when you park up, I'll set it back to like 1 or 0 or whatever. And then it's everything's sort of iced up in there, and the fridge doesn't actually have to work so hard when you're not running. So it's actually quite a smart little fridge, and I'd be lost without it, living out of this. Before I had a chili bin, I think I lasted 6 months living with a chili bin, and I was having to buy bags of ice like every second or third day, and it would always mount, and everything in your chili bin would just turn to mush because of the chili bin water, and then you go clean it out every time, and I hated it. So best thing, and highly recommend if you're setting up a truck, fridge straight away. It's the first thing I'd put in a van or a car, like 4-wheel drive or whatever. Moving on, so we're still set up in bed mode. Bed's it's king single, because I'm a king and I'm single. But you know, as long as it's not too big, you can fit 2 in there. It's not too bad. Now that this is a bit of a luxury I bought myself. This is my little 12-volt TV. I think it was only like $200 or something, and she's all 12-volt. Just, you can plug it into a cigarette lighter, or you can plug it into your like house plug as well. And yeah, I've got it running on the house plug, so when I'm at camp, I can plug into the power at the campsite, and you can watch endless TV without worrying about your battery going flat. And she's a smart TV, so it's got all the Netflix, Amazon, Disney, YouTube, everything on there. And yeah, I don't use it a lot, but it's definitely when it's raining or something and you want to have a chill day, it comes in handy. And I made this up so it doesn't fall away. That's me handy carpentry. Up in the roof we got a couple of rods. Got me slammer and my bait runner there, soft baiting. I don't do a lot of fishing, mainly if I'm just going with some mates I've got a few mates that are like ridiculously keen on it, so go with them sometimes and show them up, show them how it's done, you know. They usually take me to these shit ass spots and don't catch anything, or you just catch half a fish. But yeah, I've got them up there. These are supposed to be on the roof. They're like a magnet. It's supposed to be on top of it, like on the outside of the roof, but I just put them up on there and cable tied them there. So it's just cable ties hanging and the magnet holding them there. The magnet's not grunty enough to hold it there on its own, so the cable ties are doing most of the work. And there's another one up on that side to hold them there, so yeah. I used to keep, I've actually got a surf casting rod up on the roof as well, but it's too long to fit inside, so it's up there. But I used to keep all my rods on the roof, and the reels would just get railed and all full of dust and being in the rain all the time. So yeah, this is a lot better than being inside. They don't get wrecked. This is my water jug. It's a 20 litre. I just got it from Burnsco, I think, and yeah, it's just got a little tap on there. It's even got like a little you can flip it around so you can, like a jerry can, so you can tip the water out. Yeah, it's worked a treat. I've used that for making, I mainly use it for making me coffees, or if I'm going to have a shower, I'll use it to get water for a shower. But it's mainly coffees and like if I'm remote places where there's like not an actual campground, I'm just on the beach or something and there's no fresh water, I just use it for you know, doing me dishes or whatever. And then here I got my jet boil. Love my jet boil. This is my second one. First one, it cross threaded on the, where you threaded onto the gas, so it was leaking pretty hard out, but I was using it every day, every single day for 2 years. It only just died just recently, so and yeah, every day making coffee, every day boiling water for my shower, every day. I used to cook on it every day, and yeah, so it's they're expensive to buy, you know, like I think this is like $300 I think, but it's compact. It doesn't, like, it all goes inside and that just threads onto a gas canister, and then that sits on top. And yeah, another thing that's probably one of the best things I've bought. I use it a lot, and when you're using things a lot, paying a bit extra is not so bad, because if you bought a cheap thing, it probably wouldn't last as long. You'd be buying lots of them and then it'd be wasteful. So yeah, all in there is pretty messy, but that's my chopping board, and then all my pantry and bits and pieces. Got gas canisters, more coffee, and just random food, tin food, dry food, cereal, all that sort of shit. And then I got all my cooking stuffs, pots, pans, kumara for dinner later, all my gas canisters and oil, and then I got another gas stove there that I use for when need to cook bigger things. And then there's just some cups and stuff, and some more tin food in there and whatnot. And so yeah, that's all what's in there basically. So sleepy mode, she's pretty good. Everyone's like, how do you do it? But I'm comfy as anything in here. I love it. Always have a window open each night, and you get to have some pretty epic views from bed. with me lights. These are LED strip. They have like an adhesive back to them, but they wouldn't stick, so I ended up super gluing them there, and they work a treat. I use them all the time, and you can actually you can see probably up there, you can change the colors. Pinks and blues, reds, red light district. And you can make them like flash and change color. Play the music and everything. Yeah, I just got those from Bunnings. It's two, got one on each side, and they link up in the middle at the back there. And they ain't 12 volt, the normal house power, whatever that is, 240 or whatever. But I've got an inverter in behind here, and I've got the TV, the lights, and what else have I got? I got my Milwaukee charger for my grease gun, and a few other things that I can plug into it, charge me handheld radios and stuff up to it. And then when I plug into power at the campsite, instead of plugging the power into the inverter, I just plug it into the my power cord for from the campsite, and that keeps everything all tickety-boo. So I got this will be solar blanket, so when it's a sunny day I'll chuck this out, and keeps the fridge going all day. Keeps the battery topped up, so I don't have to worry about flattening the battery. I can run the sound. Put it up on the back window, on the front window there, so if it's sun flow, which it usually is in the winter, just point it into the sun, and yeah, but the sun's up quite high at the moment, so just run it on the bonnet. The sun's gonna end up coming around there, so I'll have to do the old move the blanket around as the old sun's moving. Up on the roof I got four surfboards. I've got a 9.9 longboard, a 5.5 retro fish, a 6.10 pintail single fin, and just your run-of-the-mill sort of 3 thruster new style surfboard. I always quite like the old school style, so but I thought I'd better get one just because say I've had one. And yeah, so that's what's up on the roof. A lot of people see it up there and think, oh, you got your rooftop tent up there, or nah, they're all surfboards. So. Pretty easy to set up. It's harder to put away because I'm quite short, but yeah, she does the trick. Gives you a little bit of shade and a little bit of shelter from the rain. I don't really trust it in the wind. Had it in some wind, but generally when it gets windy I fold her up. Just I don't really want to have to try and buy another one, and it's quite a big thing, so it'd be quite a hassle to pack up when she's broken when I'm a long way away from home. And I don't actually like I live in it obviously, but I don't put this up every night or when I move or whatever. It's really just for weekends away, because I'm up at 2 in the morning and to go to work, and I don't feel like packing it up, and I don't trust it to be out all day, so I sort of, yeah, I don't use it a lot. Shower cube, parked on a bit of a hill, so it's a bit harder to get out because I'm so short, but she works a treat. Nice private little shower, or you can put a toilet in there. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty easy to use. That's camp set up. That's camp set up. If I was doing the big full setup, I don't usually put it all out, but I like to be ready to go. Yeah. So we got the bed set up in couch mode. So there's a bit of wood that sits in between there. And just chuck it in behind there. And now I can sit in there like she's a couch. Get in here out of the weather. Much better. Oh, who's that? Daleeyman.
Serenity.
Daleeyman Adventures. Sitting there, watch a bit of TV.
Your ribbon's a bit noisy.
Oh, yes, is living. This is living, Barry. Cheers. underneath the bed's all me clothes. That's where I keep all me clothes, all me work clothes. Yeah. And that's basically about it, really. That I can think of right now. Anyways, there's probably something else I'm missing, but yeah. So that's the Troopy, home sweet home. I quite enjoy it. I like this lifestyle. A lot of people think I'm homeless, take pity on me. But yeah, I enjoy this lifestyle. This ain't gonna be me forever. I'm gonna get something bigger. Sort of in the process of thinking what to do next. There's a few options I've got sort of in mind, but come the right time, we'll see what's available. And everything's changing so fast at the moment, you know, fuel and just cost of living and driving on the road, just being on the road basically. Everything's going up crazy. So to run a vehicle, and a big vehicle, which I want, like a big truck, she's going to be big money. So we'll see. We'll come up with a plan in another year or so. Keep doing this for another year and see where we're at. Either go a truck or keep the Troopy and go a off-road caravan or something, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is home sweet home for me, and yeah, hopefully if you're looking to do a Troopy or get into living this way, or you know, if you're just setting up any four-wheel drive, hopefully there's some good ideas for you, some helps you out with what you're gonna do. And yeah, throw me a message if you got any other questions. But I think that's about it really for the Troopy. Cooking with Daleeymans again. Tonight I'm gonna have some roast pumpkin, roast kumara, roast carrot, green beans, and some barbecue pork chops, which is one of my little favorite little meals. Got a pretty big carrot. Yeah, not us, buddy. Got some green beans. I'm a fan of the old green beans. My favorite, pumpkin. Hopefully we get a good sunset tonight. So preheat the old camp oven. I don't know what degrees. Whatever degrees it is that isn't burning, I suppose. Second veggie I dropped on the ground. This is still good. Got roast pumpkin, roast kumara. I got some carrot and some onion, but I'll put them in later on because they won't take as long as those. Let them get a bit hot and then I'll chuck a lid on them. Couple of carrots in there, some onions. Bang on. Pork chops. Now they're a barbecue pork chop, so I got some barbecue sauce. Oh, yeah. It's one of my favourite meals, this. Damn wind. Trying to simmer and it keeps blowing it out. So, the old pork chops will make up a little sauce, a little marinade if you want to call it that. So you put a bit of barbecue sauce in. Barbecue sauce is probably already pretty sweet, but you add a bit of brown sugar into it as well. I don't know. Depends on how much sauce you put in, I suppose. A couple tablespoons should be enough. Mix it all in. Brown sugar, barbecue sauce. We've got some fine pork chops here. Oh, I do like a good pork chop. Probably one of my favourites. There the old pork chop is. I'm going to put a bit of salt and peppers on there. And we can take a little marinade, put a little bit of that on there. Oh yeah, oh shit yeah, boy. Delish. This is better done in an oven, but I don't have an actual oven, so on the old cast iron pan is going to be the next best thing. So we take our little cast iron pan here, get all the crap off it from last time. up the heat a bit, because get it hot, mate. Get it going. Best way to see if your pan's hot and oil's hot. Oh yeah, she's hot. She's hot, boys. Well, we're almost done.